Hello and welcome to Let's Play Heavyweight Champ on the Sega Master System, Sega 1991. Okay, let's press the start button. Okay, there are two modes of play, the slightly easier slow speed and the slightly harder fast speed. In this video I'll be completing the game in slow speed, and in the next video I'll be completing the game in fast speed. So let's choose slow speed first. And one player. And here's match 1. Okay, our character is called S. Davis, and we're going against B. Santana. Make the first move, and the match is yours. Remember, no guts, no glory. I'll explain the rest of that screen later. Okay, here's round 1. I'll just pause the game to explain about the controls. Pressing button 1 will perform a left punch, and pressing button 2 will perform a right punch. Pressing down will cause your boxer to block low for a fraction of a second, and pressing up will cause your boxer to block high for a fraction of a second. Pressing down left will cause your boxer to duck for a fraction of a second, and pressing up left will cause your boxer to sway backwards for a fraction of a second. If you punch while pressing up right, you will do an uppercut. If you punch while pressing down right, you will do a body shot, and if you punch without pressing any direction, you will do a normal jab. If you hold both buttons, you will charge the power punch meter at the bottom of the screen there, and you're only allocated 3 power punches per match. You have the option to add to this if you want to, but it's not worth it. If you just hold both buttons down, the power punch meter will charge. And if you release both buttons when the meter is at maximum, you will do a power punch, so make sure you're standing next to your opponent when that happens, otherwise you'll waste it. But we're only given 3 at the start of each match, but you can add to it if you want to. The screen that I didn't have time to explain about, that screen represents your abilities. It represents the power that you have, the recovery you have, and the footwork. The footwork just means the speed with which you walk across the ring. The recovery means how much health you can recover between rounds and if you're knocked down. Depending on how you defeat your opponent, you can get a different number of points to add to your abilities or to the number of power punches, but that's not worth it. If you get a proper knockout, i.e. the counter goes to 10, you get 3 points to play around with. If you get a technical knockout, which is 3 knockdowns per round, or 3 knockdowns in 1 round, you get 2 points to play around with. And I think, although I'm not entirely sure, I just think that if you win on points only, you only get 1 point to play around with. So it's important that you win either by technical knockout or the best case scenario by knockout, which is really difficult to do because then you get more points to add to your abilities. So it's better than Rocky in that respect. Another thing that's better than Rocky is that the duck and blocking features are much more useful here. This isn't just button mashing, although it is mostly just button mashing, but not as much button mashing as Rocky. There is use to ducking and blocking in this game. Anyway, so let's box. The opponents just seem to punch wildly. You have to find an opening. What you're aiming for is to corner them, and then you can just pummel them like mad. That's what you're aiming for. This game was released in America as James Buster Douglas Knockout Boxing, and that was because Buster Douglas was the boxer who scored a surprise victory over Mike Tyson in 1990. He knocked Mike Tyson out. And there was a NES game, a game on the Nintendo Entertainment System called Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And because Buster Douglas had defeated Mike Tyson, Sega decided to have him endorse this game in America. It's pretty much identical to this version, except we play as Buster Douglas. It just says Buster instead of S. Davis, and the title screen is different as well. Buster Douglas then lost to Evander Holyfield, and then he went into decline. But I do recommend watching on YouTube the fight between him and Mike Tyson. It's a really good fight. That's it. If you can't find the opening, just block and then punch like that. Otherwise, you can just go crazy like that. There we go. That's the second knockdown. I like to get a normal knockout in the first fight because it gives me more points, and it's the easiest fight on which to get a normal knockout. Okay, that's the end of the first round. Yeah. Also, there's another game which is very similar to this. George Foreman's KO Boxing. It's certainly based on this game, but we play as George Foreman, and the music's slightly different, and the opponents are slightly different, and the graphics are ever so slightly different, but it is more or less the same game as this, but slightly easier as well. You've got him on the run. Yeah, between rounds they give you advice, but it's pretty useless. I wouldn't listen to it. Alright, I'm going to do a power punch, just to finish him off. Might as well use them all up. Ah, yeah, that's how they can be mucked up there. I wasted that one because he punched me as I was about to do it. That's it. Good, he's knocked down again. The opponents never seem to use their power punches until later on in the match. So if you defeat them before they use their power punches, then they won't ever use them. I like to use mine early on, really, because they're not really that handy anyway. He's nearly gone. That's it. I might be able to get a proper knockout here. Of course, the third knockdown will be instant victory, but I only get 2 points to play around with. That's really annoying. He's got up there, especially with no health. There doesn't seem to be any rule. There don't seem to be any rules here. I mean, I managed to get a proper knockout in the first round when he had loads of health left, and he had no health left there, and he had no health left there, and he got up on the fifth and he got up on 5 rather. Anyway, so you get 2 points now. You won. You get 2 points. Great boxing. Yeah, it's really annoying I didn't get the 3 points there. Never mind. Okay, here's match 2. And yes, so you can add to them, or you can add to your power punches. You have 2 more points for power up. I usually like to give it to power because that's more important. Footwork isn't really that necessary. Recovery and power are best. Since I only have 2, I'm going to give it all to power because I won't really need much. Anyway, stay clear of his body blows. Yeah, I won't need much recovery against him because T White is actually really easy. And here's round 1. This music, slightly faster, is the music of George Foreman's KO Boxing, the first fight. I'll confirm that when I play. Well, I'll show you that when I play George Foreman's KO Boxing. I actually like this music. So he's actually really easy. He's much easier than B. Santana, I think. And now I'm going to pummel him. Here we go. No. Come on. There we go, he's mine. Did a body shot there we go. There we go, he's down. See how many it takes him to get up. If they're going to get up, they usually do it by about the 8th, yeah. If they're not up by 9, that means they're knocked down. I mean, they're knocked out properly. And he's down again. If you know what's good for you, you will stay down. Is he coming back for more punishment? Yes, he is. That's not really getting up, though, is it? That's just leaning a bit. That's not on his feet. He should be on his feet by 8. Otherwise, usually the referee sort of stops the fight anyway. And well, from what I've seen, that was my round definitely. You've got him on the ropes. No, you've got him on the run rather. For some reason, his hair is ginger there when in the match it was blonde. He's down again. Just stay down. Yeah, I don't know what you need to get a knockout, because as I mentioned, sometimes I get a proper knockout when they have health left, and in the last match he had no health left, and he'd already been knocked down once before in that round, and he still got up on 5 no less. You know, it's just I don't understand the rules. What is needed for a proper knockout? Nope. Oh good, he's actually knocked out this time, but he actually had health left. Yeah, anyway, so I get a proper knockout this time, so I get 3 points to play around with, which is good. You get 3 points. Great boxing. And here's match 3. Okay. Again, I'll leave footwork alone. I'll put one on I'll put one on power, and I'll put the other 2 on recovery. There we go. Oh, I didn't read the thing. Never mind. I'll read it next time when I do fast mode. Yeah. Anyway, he's actually yellow. M. Williams is actually yellow. Yeah, he never stops punching ever. He's just on and on punching. He's really difficult on fast mode, but on slow mode he's actually more or less easy, especially if you use body shots. But yeah, his boxing nickname should be M. Jaundice Williams, because he's yellow. Why is he yellow? He has some serious liver or kidney trouble there. I didn't even use my power punches in the last fight either. I'll use him this time because he's annoying me. There we go. Have another one. And the last one. So good. Now you're finished. There we go. Yeah, he's actually quite difficult on fast mode. But on this mode he's easy. On fast mode his punching rate is mad. He's like he's on speed. He just goes punch, punch, punch. It's really difficult to find an opening. You can either defeat him or lose badly, depending on whether you can corner him or not. You know, that was my round. That should be a 10-7. Yep, good. And here's the intermission. If you see an opening, go for it. Yeah, his recovery is really good. If you notice, it was on 5 points before the match started. But footwork isn't really necessary. It's just the speed with which you go across the ring, as far as I'm aware. You don't really need to upgrade that, really. It's another knockdown. Why is his hair black? I thought it was... Oh no, it is black. I think it's supposed to be black, isn't it? Is it black or blonde? No, it's actually brown, but it was black when he's knocked down. Just like the other one had red hair when he was... the break, whatever it is, intermission. But when he was fighting, it was blonde. His hair's brown and his skin's yellow. But when he's down, it's actually black hair and normal coloured skin. Oh, he's doing a thing. Ah, he got me. I was trying to prevent him from doing it. But he actually gets 4 if you notice, so he's only on 3 now. But he should have used them earlier. Anyway, yeah, his skin isn't yellow and his hair's black now. And he's up again. Brilliant. Even though that's not really up, that's just leaning up. We went down before he got the power punch in. And that's a TKO. So just 2 points this time. So I just want to get rid of him, really. You get 2 points. Great boxing. Okay, here's match 4. Now this bloke, R. Bernard, looks like the ugliest bloke known to man. You have to look at him during the intermission. He looks like a dog. Anyway, let's use these 2 points up. I'll do one for footwork, and then I'll do another one for recovery. There we go. What does it say? Look for his weaknesses. What useless advice that is. Of course I'm going to look for his weaknesses. Okay, here's round 1. Anyway, he's really, really ugly during the intermission. I'll show you. He looks like a dog. Well, just up there, well, yeah. You'll see. But again, he's really easy because we're powered up. I'm just going to go crazy on him. There we go. Inevitable, really. And he's up. Use a power punch. I would like to show you the intermission though, so I'll just back off a bit and let the time run out. Okay. I let him pummel me a bit there, but yeah, that was my round easily. I just want to show you the intermission. I mean, look at him. Look at that face. It looks like he's deformed. If you see an opening, go for it. Look at his face. What is wrong with him? He looks like he's like a ventriloquist dummy or something. It's just ridiculous. He's obviously a veteran at boxing. He's had his face pummeled so much. He looks like a ventriloquist dummy or a dog. Anyway, he's down with 1 punch. I'll get a TKO in this round, I think. I just want to finish him off. Up he gets now. There we go. Do a power punch. Oh, he's down again. Don't get up. It's like he's sleeping and having a nightmare. And he's up again, of course. So only 2 points. Only 2 points I'll get at the end of this fight. Use the last power punch to get rid of him. What? Why didn't that work? Oh, must have taken it off too early. There we go. Right. One more punch and he's mine. There we go. That's the TKO. That's 2 points for me. And then finally we get to the last fight. You get 2 points. Great boxing. And here's match 5, the final one. Yeah, K. Gibson. His name must be Keith. I can't think of any other name that begins with K. It must be Keith. Anyway, 2 points. Let's do 1 for power, and then one for footwork. There we go. Enough said. Now give it all you've got. Here's round 1. Scary music because he's the champ. He's sort of like Dolph Lundgren, Ivan Drago, or Ivan Drago. Can't seem to get that punch in. No, I'll do a power punch to get rid of him because he's taking a bit too much health off. There we go. I'll do another one. Can't seem to find the opening very well. I'll do another one as well. Yeah, he's a bit like Ivan Drago. There we go. Corner him now. Never stops punching. There we go. Finally get the knockdown. Yeah, George Foreman's KO boxing is even easier than this. I mean, it's a very easy game. Sega Power Magazine actually gave it 1 out of 5, even though they gave this game 3 out of 5. I don't get it. All George Foreman's KO boxing is effectively just an easy version of this. Okay, he's finished. Yep, there we go. Managed to get the second knockdown. There's no point in going for a normal knockout unless you want the challenge, because this is the last fight. After this, we become champion. Up, there we go. Always up on 8. If they don't get up any earlier, it's always on 8. So I think I'm going to get the TKO. No, it's not going to happen. And he's going to recover loads. I don't have any power punches next, so I won't be able to... You know, if you see an opening, go for it. And he has red hair again. He had blonde in the fight, and he has red hair. Round 2. Are you blonde or are you ginger? Who knows? All I know is you're getting knocked out. Here we go. There we go, first knockdown. Just need 2 more and I can get that TKO and complete the game. Please stay down. 6. Oh, he's going for a big one. Oh, he got me, even though I swayed backwards. I'm trying to avoid that. Oh, he's doing another one. See, he knows what's what. Ah, he's down. He knows what's what. He's using them all up because he knows that he's in serious trouble. To quote Rocky IV, he's in serious trouble, and he's taken my best punches so far. And he's tired and he's bleeding. One more, come on. There we go, get the TKO, and he's dead. Or rather, knocked out. Hope he's not dead. That's it, you won. Alright, you're the new heavyweight champion of the world. And here are the credits. Yeah, the game's identical to James Buster Douglas Knockout Boxing, but You know, except you play as Buster Douglas. Congratulations, today you showed what it takes to be a great boxer. No matter how hard your opponent fought, you held your ground and went the distance. And now you are the undisputed boxing champion of the world. This music reminds you a little bit. It sounds a bit like the ending to Sonic 2 on a Master System, which is also the bad ending to Sonic 2 on the Game Gear, which I really like. Anyway, presented by Sega. Okay, so thanks for watching. In the next video I'll be completing this game on fast speed. So thanks again, I'll see you then. Bye bye.